For a man, we're constantly prioritizing. How important is this? What's number one? What's number two? And anything below that goes into not necessary now. Women do it differently. Everything weighs the same in a sense. So there's this dynamic of not weighing everything the same. Men will say, okay, what's the most important? Not going to do it. And that's why often men forget to do the little things, is because we're doing the big thing. You know, I'm working hard to make money. That's the most important thing. So everything below that becomes unimportant. Now, when we're courting a woman, dating her, falling in love with her, we're not really ready to give the big stuff. So all we're willing to do is the little stuff. And that's what opens women up, is lots of little stuff. And then to be married, you get married. That's a big stuff. That's important to continue on. But to continue on doing the little stuff creates a romantic love. And you know, people say, I want to feel what we felt in the beginning. Well, go back and be like you were in the beginning, where you know he would do lots of little things, and that makes no sense to a man. So I've just explained the way men think, which is bigger is better, and the biggest. Why do I need to do the little? And when you complain about something little, we go, but I do all this big stuff. It's so insulting for you to complain about the little. But for her, in her mind, if you won't do the little, how can I trust you to be the big? See how from either perspective, so it's a misunderstanding. And so we can create dynamics to bring that, to create those hormones. And I think one of the most popular ideas of the book, Men Are From Mars, and by the way, most of these ideas we're talking about here is that beyond Mars and Venus, I talk about all the hormones and how man can help a woman come back to her female side, what a woman can do to boost a man's male side. But it's not that different from Men Are From Mars. But when I wrote Men Are From Mars, it was primarily focused on couples where men were more masculine and women were more feminine. And now we're in a world where it's starting to be a role reversal happening here. And that was natural, because as women become independent, men want to connect. We want love too. I mean, just think about, you know, the strong sex drive that most men used to have. It's dwindling now, but sex, at least in his 20s, they do studies showing that men think about sex every minute. Okay, there's not a minute that goes by where he's not thinking about sex, and women certainly aren't, in those tests at least. So that's a strong desire. And what is sex but connecting? It's connecting with a woman. It's going into a woman. It's being one with a woman. Okay, so that's this connection. So if a woman's more masculine, in order to connect with her, he will start to become more feminine. So these polarities of masculine and feminine, they're very complementary forces. They're everywhere in the universe. The expansive force is the feminine energy. The contraction force is the masculine energy. Now, this microphone here, if it was just expansive energy, it would just blow up. And if it would be a black hole if it was just contraction. So these forces are always working together, trying to find out balance. And it's also how we experience anything is through contrast. You know, it was like I recently, a week ago, I was had a toothache and went to the dentist. And after something got caught in my gum and got inflamed. And so I was in pain. And this is the thing, when you're in pain, it's really hard to be loving. And he scraped that out and the pain was gone. I was so happy. And what I realized, Michelle, is that the reality is I'm happy most of the time, but I don't necessarily feel it as much. So the key is, you know, can you feel the state of being that you're in, the state of happiness? Because I'm not rarely stressed. For me, I'm rarely stressed. So it's like in a sense, I had to contrast of feeling the pain to go, oh, this is how I feel. I feel happy. And so there's this contrast. If if you get into a warm bath, it feels so good getting in. But if you just stay still, you won't feel the warmth after a while. So you have to move the water a bit and have contrast of more or less, more or less. That's how we're allowed to feel. Now, when we bring that whole idea into sex and making love, what I have found, particularly for men, which then has an effect on women, which is when a man has sex with a woman, that's when he will feel the most. he will feel pleasure the most. And so it's a little discipline that I teach called enlightened sexuality, which is, and now at this time when you're able to feel more than any other time, feel the love that's in your heart and share that with your partner. Express that to your partner. And when she's having sex, she's going to be more vulnerable than any other time.
Right.
What it means to be vulnerable, one way of understanding vulnerability is being in a situation where you give someone the power to make you feel really good or to make you feel really bad, to hurt you. So
Mm,
that's vulnerability. That's what love is. When your heart is open, you're giving someone the ability to make you feel really good. Ideally, that's
mhm,
what sex is you feel a lot of love. You feel really good. But when you feel really good, you're also giving someone the power to make you feel really bad. That's why couples will have often the most tension, before they start having sex. It tends to be rather easy. Once you have sex, these walls, we take them down. And so we can open up to our partner, where a woman says, I'm allowing you to see me and love me and do things that make me feel really good. So that will take her to a higher level of estrogen. I'm trusting you to be there for me, not be cruel to me, mean to me, judgmental to me, critical, but you're gonna love me. And a man at that time, he will feel more because she is being vulnerable. That allows him to feel more. And because it's so pleasurable, it allows him to feel more. So it's learning how to focus the attention for a woman on how to be more vulnerable, for a man how to be more expressive of his love through his touch, through his words, through his interaction, and by feeling love. I can choose to feel my right hand, or I can choose to feel my left hand. It's just a choice. I can choose to feel, oh, more and more pleasure. Oh, this pleasure feels so good. That's kind of like this ice cream tastes so good. I love ice cream, but that's different kind of love from I love my partner. So, men can just go do porn and feel love for a moment. I love how I feel, but that's not, we're talking about real love, which is I'm feeling the love in my heart that I have for my partner and reflecting on how much I love them and my commitment to her and over.